Hello, let's do the New York Times Hard Sudoku for June 15th, 2025. There's a link in the description if you'd like to try the puzzle yourself, and I'm going to get started right now. All right, we're going to start with a geometry pass here. 1, 6, 3, 7, 8. This 2 looking in, unfortunately not quite good enough. 2, 4, 6. So, unfortunately the 6 repeats, otherwise we'd have our normal New York Times trick. So we just have 2 and 4 here. 4 isn't one of these two twos in any of them. So unfortunately, we can't quite limit 2 and 4 in this row right now. If I do find something good, I'll explain what the heck I'm talking about for those who don't know. I also have a video in the description where I explain what I mean by geometry in great detail. So if you are confused by my geometry pass at all, that is a good resource for you. 1 and 3 is annoying because like this can't be 3 and this can't be 1. It always triggers me to think, oh, that must do something. But no, it doesn't. We can still kind of spread the 1 and 3 out into any of these 3 cells with some restriction, I guess, but not enough restriction to be able to do any logic based on that. Okay. Maybe down here there's something to look at. So unfortunately 2 and 4 are already in the box, but the 8 looking in, this 8 looking down does place this 8. Okay. Sorry, I think I'm about to sneeze. All right, we have 2 filled box rows here. Let's see. So we want to look for anything here that isn't already placed in the box. So the 1, for example, looks in, this one looks down, puts a 1 in one of these 2. And the reason we're doing that is this is going to point. So pointing is when in the box we have limited the digit to, it's usually 2, sometimes 3 places. Well, 2 or 3 in the same row in this case, or it could be the same column if you're looking at the stack, right? But anytime I say like box versus row, right, I could also be box versus column because a Sudoku can always be rotated 90 degrees and all the rows become columns and all the columns become rows. But anyway, in this case, we have a filled box row, so we've lined up these 1s into 2 places in this box, and no matter where this 1 ends up, it's going to be in row 7. And so this is not just the 1 for box 9, but the 1 in box 9 is also going to be the 1 in row 7. Because no matter where I place the 1 in box 9, it will just happen to be in row 7. And so that does what's called pointing, because if you kind of look at, like, if you were to draw a line between these 2 cells and like an arrow, it would point at the rest of the row and say, no more 1s, not allowed to be 1. And so these can't be 1. These 1s look in. This one doesn't really help because there's 9 sitting there, but it does mean 1's in one of these 2. So what we've learned here is these 2 digits aren't 1. That's new information. Like we already knew this wasn't because of other reasons, but the fact that these aren't 1 anymore is something we want to kind of think about and see if there's a way to follow up on that. I don't see a way to follow up on it right now, but it's that these corner marks are going to try to remind us that that's the case. This is a filled box row as well, so we want to look at all of these. Anything that's not 1, 2, 4, 8, 9. So it's the 7. The 7 looks in, the 7 looks down. So the 7 is also going to point. And it actually points into this box as well. This 7 looks in, puts a 7 up here. So what we've learned is these 2 are not 7. Okay, and I think that's really all we get out of a geometry pass here, unfortunately. But let's go back up to the top and let's do our normal buddy scans. So 1, 3, and 6. The only thing I'm seeing is we have 2 6s here. What's a 6 in one of these 3? We also have 7 and 8. The 2 8, oh, we have all of our 8s. The 7, we already got this 7 here. 7's in one of these 2. This is what I call a crossing. If you can look for these directly as part of the geometry pass if you'd like, or during your normal scan. I just saw it naturally through just looking at how this 7 affects the box with this one. But we have 2 digits here that are placed that share a row in the box. And then there's an open cell here. The open cell isn't all that important. What's important is we have these 2 that share a row. And then what we have found is that there's a digit, the 7, looking through here and a 7 looking in here. So it's kind of crossing. They cross each other, right? So naturally, the placement of these eliminates the 7 from 5 out of the 9 cells in this box, leaving just these 4 cells. And you'll notice that 2 of those are occupied by 2 givens that are not 7. You know, it's important that 7's not already placed in the box, right? We have to still want a 7 in the box. And so because 2 of them are occupied by givens, we end up with just 2 places left for 7, which is going to cause pointing. Or you could even limit it down to 1, in which case you can place it. So what you can do is you can focus on this 4, 6 here that share a row, and you can go, okay, is there anything in this column and one of these two rows that matches, right? So we're looking at 1, 6, 7 versus 4, 5, 7, and we see that the 7s match, and that's going to automatically give you what we need here. And obviously it has to be 2 that match that aren't already placed in the box. All right, so this 7 points in, this 7 looks in, puts a 7 in one of these two. Okay, and we do want to take a quick scan downward to see if any, how many cells in this column can be 7, because we know they're not here, but unfortunately there's three places for 7. But what we've learned is that these are not 7. That's the new information. So we've got some important pointing and claiming to remember: these 7s, these 7s, these 1s, these 1s, these 7s, etc. All right. So do we get anything else from here? The 8, we got the 7. All right, we have 2, 4, and 6. So we do have 2 2s here. Puts a 2 in one of these two. We have 2 4s here. Puts a 4 in one of these two. So what we found here, actually, no. You know what? I want to explain this anyway, even though there is a 4 here. Let's pretend this 4 wasn't here. So what we've found here is what's called a hidden pair. Because what we've done is we've overlapped the 2 and the 4 in the same 2 spots. So what these are telling us is in this box, the 2 is limited to one of these 2 cells, and the 4 is also limited to one of these 2 cells, and nowhere else in the box. And so if one of these needs to be 2 and one of these needs to be 4, well, one will be 2, the other will be 4. We don't know what order they go in, but we know that one is 2 and one is 4, meaning they can't be anything else. But now we also have this 4 here that's going to immediately resolve it. So this actually can't be the 4. So if we actually look, that we have a hidden single 4 in the box, and then now we have a hidden single 2 in the box. So you can see that these two did end up having to be, one of them had to be 2, one of them had to be 4. So how could we have put anything else in those cells? And the answer is we could not have. It eliminates everything else from those cells. All right, now this 7 looking in does put a 7 in one of these two, and that's really important because that points telling us this can't actually be a 7. So we have to eliminate that corner mark. That leaves just one place left for 7 in this box. So I'm looking at 2, 4, 5, 7. So okay, not the 5, obviously. 4, 2, 5, 8. The 8 maybe? I guess 8's in one of these two. So this cell's limited because it's not the 7 and 8. So there's four digits left in the box, and it's not 2 of them. So it's only 6, 9. Nice. I guess I could put 6, 7, 9 here and 6, 8, 9 here. But I think this can be any of 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so that was nice from that. So 2, 4, 6, and 7. I think that's all we get out of that. All right, this column is down to 3 open cells. So we just want to think about what those 3 digits are left. And I'm always willing to mark 3, but I like to think about it first. So we have 1, 2, we need 3, 5, 9. So the only thing I'm seeing is this 9 here. Otherwise, they're all available. So we're just going to put 3, 5, 9 here and clear out that 9. Anything in this band that's limited? Not really. Okay. And then this stack, I think that's it for the stack. Okay. So let's move on to the next band here. We've got 2 and 4. So the 2 has a buddy. Puts a 2 in one of these two. The 4s look in here. This 4 looks up. That places the 4 in this box. Let's follow up on that. Placing the 4 here. There's still 2 places for 6, so don't fall in that trap if you mark 3 in the box. These 4s look in, putting a 4 in one of these two. Oh, sorry. All of these 4s look in, placing the 4 in this box. We can get rid of that 4 corner mark. Now these 4s look down. These 4s look in, placing a 4 here, and we have actually finished the 4s. All 9 of them are placed. All right, now this is a filled box row, so again, we want to look at all of these digits that aren't 1, 3, 4, 6. So the 2, 7, and 8 are all interesting. 7's already marked. The 8's in one of these 3. That's going to point in here with this 8. This 8 looks up, putting an 8 in one of these 2. What else did we have? Let's just go through them. The 8, the 4. We have the 2 looking in. That puts a 2 in one of these 2. Okay, and this is a hidden pair like I was talking about before. This is a hidden 2, 7 pair. And that's going to leave behind a triple here. This is going to be 5, 8, 9. All right, perfect. So now I don't have to look at the rest of those. 5, 8, 9. So These can't be 5 because of the 5, 8, 9 triple here. This 5 looks up. So 5 ends up in one of these two. The 8's marked. How about the 9? These can't be 9. I don't really have many 9s looking up through here. Okay, I can't do anything with that. All right, we have some low-hanging fruit because we have this 2, 7 pair here now. So there's just 3 digits left that aren't accounted for in this row. They are the 1, 5, 9. I'm seeing that the 5 is placed. This 5 and this 5 look up, placing the 5. And then this is a 1, 9 pair that I don't think is resolved. Nice. Okay, so I got this 5. These 5s look down, placing the 5 here. And that removed one of my 7 corner marks. Can't put a 7 there anymore. There's a 5. So that places the 7 for the box. Now we're just down to 2 digits here. There's going to be a pair, a 3, 6 pair. And then that leaves a pair here for the rest of the column. It looks like it's 1 and something. 1 and 9. Okay. 4 digits left in this box. Let's just take a quick gander here. We need a 2, 3, 6, 7. So the 7 looks up, putting a 7 in one of these two. 2, 3, 6, 7. So this is 3, 6 only. This is 2, 3, 6. This is 3. Oh, this can't be 3. So this is only 6, 7. It's not 2 or 3. So we're down to 2, 3, 6, 7. Yeah. This can be any of them. Okay. This column in general, is it 2, 3, 6, 7? Looks like this column in general is 2, 3, 6, 7. So this is 3, 6, only 3, 6. Can't be 2 or 7. The 7 in general is here, so this is 2, 3. It can't be 6. All right. And then, oh, this comes down to 5. Let's not look at that yet. We know we need a 1 up here and the 9 somewhere up here. So we can corner mark that. All right. Let's try to backtrack a little bit. What were we looking at? Oh, we have this 5, 8, 9. So there's 3 digits left here. It's the 1. Wait, what's happening here? Oh, this can't be 9, right? Because of the 5, 8, 9 triple. So this is going to be 1, 3, 6. Oh, and this can't be the 3 or the 6. So this is a naked 1. The only digit this cell can be is a 1. If I were to center mark it, it would just be that single digit, which means that we have to put a digit in there. So it has to be a 1. That's a naked single in the most basic deductions in Sudoku. So then there's a 9, there's a 1, there's a 9. There's 6 and 8. I think we're doing very well. Okay, 8 and 5 get placed, only place in the box for them. And this is the last digit, the 3, giving us the 2 here. Okay. I do believe that places the 2 in this box. That's the 3. Okay, that's not 6. We get the 3 and the 9 to finish that column. This is a 7, 9 pair. We get the 6 and the 3 here. This is 6 or 7. Wow, okay, so we just collapsed a whole huge portion of the puzzle. We're still going here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 5 and 6 here. Anytime there's just like 2 left in a box or row or column, like just take a look. 5, 6, 7 here. This is 1, 3, 6. Oh, and this 3, 6 looks down. So this can only be a 1. So it must be a good single. That's 3, 6. Rest of this row is 1, 6, 7, 9. This can't be 1 or 6. So this is 7, 9. We do need a 7 in this column. So what I've noticed is we have the 7's corner marked here and we have a 2, 7 pair here. So that's telling us, hey, where the heck is the 7 in this column then? Because it's not in this box or this box and it's not here. So 7 in this column is one of these two. Now we can see that these 7s line up with these 7s. So where the heck is 7 in this row? And the answer is this is the only place for 7 in the row. So the reason for that, you might think, well, 7 could be here or here, right? There's no 7 in the row. There's no 7 in the column. There's no 7 in the box. Why can't 7 be here? Well, because 7 needs to be here. This is called claiming. It's kind of the other side of the coin to pointing, where in this column, we needed to place a 7. It can't go in any of these cells, and it can't go in any of these cells or this cell. And so 7 is going to end up here or here. In one of these two cells I've highlighted, this column is going to place a 7, and it's going to be in one of these two cells. When it does so, it's also going to be the 7 for this box. Box 4 here. Why? Because just coincidence, right? It's going to place a 7. It can only place it here or here. When it does so, that is going to be the 7 for the box. And so we cannot place 7s here. So it's claiming the 7 from the rest of the box. This column, column 2, claims the 7 from box 4. And so if these cannot be 7, then where does 7 go? In this row, because it can't be in this box anymore. So it has to be right here. That places the 9, the 1, and the 9, giving us the 7 here. Gives us 6 and 7. Notice the 7 got placed for this column, and it's also the 7 for the box. All right. This is just to finish the row with a 1. Some people call that a full house. We need 1, 2, 3, because this is a row, column, or box generically can be called a house. Just anywhere that you need 1 to 9 placed once each. That's a house. Anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 5 and 9. Okay, that does not appear. Oh, it actually is resolved because we have this 9 here. So the 9 goes there and then the 5 goes there, giving us the 8, 5, and 9 up here. These both can't be 5, and so where's 5 in this row? Only here. That gives us the 6, 3, and 6, and 3. We are finishing up. So other than 2, 6, 7, what's left? We need a 3. So these 3s tell us the 3 goes there. The reason I say other than 2, 6, 7 is we can anything other than 2, 6, 7 is probably placed. So we need a 5 and an 8. So the 5 is placed here, and then the 8 is to finish the column, and then actually we need another 8, which goes here. This is the 2 for the box, giving us 7 and 2, giving us 6 and 7, and then this is our 6, and we're done. Alrighty. That puzzle collapsed before I even finished scanning the last band. I didn't even get all that much from Geometry Pass, as far as I remember. So it was just scanned this band, did a lot of follow-up, scanned this band, did follow-up, followed back up into this band, and then like this stack kind of completed, and there was just such good low-hanging fruit sitting around that I didn't have to scan this band at all. I mean, I kind of did some work on this band already during the Geometry Pass, though, so I don't know how much that helped. Cool. Well, let me know how you did. If you enjoyed this, why don't leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.